So Module 28 is launching today, and it comes with a massive list of changes, fixes, improvements, and new content. So we have the full patch notes list here. We can check out all of the exciting new changes coming. First of all, some feature highlights. We're getting a new campaign and an expanded adventure zone within Wild Space. I have covered it in previous videos, but yes, you can read the blog. The Adventure Zone one just has some story text here, same with the Heroic Encounter one. Otherwise, we will be indeed getting the new dungeon. This will have 3 difficulty tiers with all new rewards. Well, only Advanced and Master will have new rewards, but you will be able to see everything in the collections here. You can see quite a bit. Some of the rewards, though, are shared with, say, the advanced version. Again, the blog post does not contain much other than story. Then we indeed will have a new lockbox. I just covered that. You will have this Zodar mount here, the Zodar armor, and a new artifact, the Beacon of Meteor Swarm. Both pretty decent. Then we will also get a new battle pass where they have changed things up a little bit. This will allow us to get a lot of free rewards, some being really special, like the new artifact choice pack with higher item level artifacts of the elemental ones, and then also having an illusion pack with like the brilliant energy, which is super exclusive from, I believe, just a founder's pack, and then some extra rewards you can obtain by doing some extra participation. And then we have the enchantment rank increase and color updates, bringing a lot of cost reductions, and ultimately, yeah, the new celestial rank 2 enchantments, and then also mount colors getting reworked a little bit. Their upgrading costs will go down significantly, and they'll give you some extra stats. And then some just quality of life improvements, including a new title selector and customizable opacity for your class mechanic bars. So now let's jump into the release notes with the actual changes. So first of all, some fixes to achievements. They should properly be obtainable now. And very nicely, the Adventurers Guild is getting a bank and guild bank NPC, meaning you can much more easier use this location as a hub, since it now has everything pretty close to each other. And then a bunch of map fixes in Avernus, Caverns of Corundax, Grey Wolf Den, just so that you're not like falling out of the map or getting obstructed. And then Xemnid's Reliquary. They reduced the hitbox for the smaller artifact laser beam. This should help the less splendid jumpers to have an easier time avoiding the damage. Literally calling it a skill issue that we couldn't before. But that does mean the achievement where you need to avoid it should be easier to obtain. Menza Branzin, they increased the drop rate for elite sigils from those locations. A bug fix with a quest in Spelljammer. And the Well of Dragons, well, you should need to get to level 20 before you get a quest to be able to go there. And then future events, you'll no longer be able to donate fireworks if you're at the max capacity. And then there's some combat power updates. So the Alric's artillery beacon just updated so that the stun is properly scaled in PvP. And then the token of chromatic storm, that storm debuff will now be a specific category and will not stack with other similar storm debuffs, and that's important for the new artifact from the new lockbox coming. Then we jump into the bulk of class changes. So the Bard's got a few updates. Ballads can be performed outside of combat. That's huge. Your songs now have a maximum target cap of 15. Duet, an increase to its magnitude. That's more multi-target damage for you. Now, I won't go through everything, but you've got some significant ones like Lunge magnitude getting increased. Lore Master, unfortunately, not having its research ability categorized as a daily power. That will take away some bonus interactions, but Activate Exploit will still be categorized as a daily power. Then with the class Paladin, they updated the block a little bit so that you don't receive the control immunity with a 360. It's going to be still that arc in front of you rather than all around you. Gonna be very annoying with the Moondancer trial, but other classes gotta suffer with that too already, so now we're just put on equal playing field. Ranger got a lot of improvements here. I can't really go through everything, but some significant increases in magnitude across the board, some power fixes just to make them work properly, and then all of the ones here for Warden just massively increasing the effectiveness across the majority of the powers there. Some feat and features updates as well, and then there are some Ranger Hunter improvements too here, giving you a little bit of extra damage output, but not much, and particularly a quality of life improvement with rate of change. You don't have to stance switch as often, just once every 3 seconds if you want to maximize the rate of change buff. Then we jump to the Rogue. That got some multi-target damage improvements just across the base class. I'm not really sure why, but they seem to want to do that. And Assassin got some improvements here in order to get more reliable stat bonus, and Toxic Blades to, not work incorrectly where you were stacking way above, say, 5 stacks, getting up to 11 to 15 stacks of it, which is then a ton of magnitude over time. And they've temporarily disabled from applying to players so that you can't go kill your friendly players. Whisper Knife, one with the shadows, got improved a little bit of delay so that it will ensure it applies after the stealth ends rather than in the middle of it. That could end up screwing up certain rotations. And then Shadow of Demise feat, that has been improved to 50%. Then with some companions, Juvenile Jade Dragonel will properly work as an augment companion, providing those stats. And the Zoraxian Defector companion, its multi-target damage attack, will properly work even if the companion runs away. Now they did with gear update the Everfrost and Icy Aggression, and this is to make it so tanks are not crutching it for tank threat generation. So they've reduced its damage output from 15% down to just 5% of your maximum hit points. Honestly, I wasn't using it, and I don't really think you need that threat, especially these days after they gave that rework, and tank threat is pretty easy now. With regards to mounts, the Slab of Vecna should properly be fixed. It will not count twice with your combat advantage and ignore your accuracy. Then with some enemies in the advanced Moondancer trial, the Lieutenant Sniper won't cast his energy beam twice. And then with items and economy, if you're using those Abyss gloves here, they were missing some stats, and you'll see a little bit of an improvement there. Again, they mentioned with mount colors, the cost has been significantly reduced, and the combined rating has been increased to 90% on the ones that don't have 100%. Now, with regards to some stores here, you'll be able to buy the Wererat Thief with Seals of the Dragon, and yes, they have added to the Rewards Reclaim Agent the ability to get account unlocks for Celestial Enchantments. Just be aware you need to be really careful when upgrading them and trading them in, because you can end up resulting in wasting resources where you shouldn't be. Make sure to upgrade on one character and just follow these steps to the point with each enchantment one by one, and you should have no trouble. It is a little bit convoluted, but that just seems what they could manage to do in the time they had. Now, they did add Shards of Greater Empowerment and Insignia Powder to the trade bar store. Additionally, enchantments, the green ones, have had their cost basically reduced by a half. For the summer festival, they have actually fixed it so that you will see when you drop your copper and silver tickets. This was just a UI display fix. Then with regards to the Zen market, it should be a bit easier to see the item information. And then finally, a bug that allowed certain retired campaign stores to be accessible has been fixed. This is about my video right here, where we had, say, access to the Undermounted store and the Acquisition store to gain those items with the currency if you had that. Was pretty cool, but very specific to PC only, being able to use those commands. That is ultimately the entire patch notes. A lot of stuff to go through here. You can again read through it yourself, but I believe I covered all of the important bits to know that are listed here. In terms of the Ranger improvements, I did cover each of the steps that they did take with regards to improving it, and ultimately a final video comparing Warden in the new and improved state versus Hunter, and what kind of power setups you can use there in order to particularly maximize your single target damage. I will make a video on like how to play Ranger or a build video, and then we will touch on multi-target powers, but it's fairly straightforward. Using a power setup, something like this with this daily power and making the use of Blade Hurricane and also your cooldown reduction, and you just stay in your melee stance, and you can do quite the significant amount of multi-target damage here. As per the devs, the new dungeon will be available today if you purchase the Head Start pack. Otherwise, you need to get to milestone 2 on the campaign. The pack will give you that, but if you don't get the pack, then you can unlock it the following week. I personally will have videos out on it pretty early, cover mechanics and so on, but yeah, only watch them if you want to have that extra insight as to what's going to happen there. But it can be a lot of fun going in blind. You just kind of need to have a team that are comfortable with that too. Once again, a massive thank you to all of these channel members for your added support. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.